Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into one of the most shocking developments in the ongoing Russia-Ukraine conflict. The Crimea Bridge, a symbol of Russia's grip on the region, has been struck again by Ukrainian forces in what experts are calling their boldest strike yet. The explosion has sparked chaos, international attention, and questions about the future of this critical connection between mainland Russia and Crimea. In this video, we'll break down what happened, how it happened, the implications for Russia and Ukraine, and what this means for the broader conflict. So, buckle up, because this is a story you won't want to miss. Before we talk about the latest strike, let's quickly revisit the significance of the Crimea Bridge. Also known as the Kerch Strait Bridge, it spans over 19 kilometers and connects the Russian mainland with the Crimean Peninsula. Built by Russia after its annexation of Crimea in 2014, the bridge has been both a symbol of Russian pride and a critical military and logistical artery. From its opening in 2018, the bridge has allowed Russia to transport troops, military equipment, and supplies into Crimea at an unprecedented pace. For Ukraine, the bridge has represented a lifeline for Russian operations in the region, and a legitimate target in their efforts to weaken Russia's control. The bridge has already been targeted before, including a major incident last year that caused significant damage and disruption. But this latest strike, happening amid heightened tensions and intensified military operations in southern Ukraine, has caught global attention. According to reports, the strike occurred in the early hours, with eyewitnesses describing a massive explosion that lit up the sky over the Kerch Strait. Smoke plumes were visible from miles away, and emergency response teams rushed to the scene as fires erupted along the roadway. Initial footage from the area shows damaged sections of the bridge, with some parts partially collapsing. The blast also caused temporary disruptions to maritime traffic in the strait, a key shipping route connecting the Black Sea with the Sea of Azov. Russia has been quick to downplay the impact publicly, but satellite images and independent analyses suggest that the damage is substantial, affecting both civilian and military traffic. The question everyone is asking is, how did Ukraine pull this off? While exact details are classified, military analysts suggest the strike likely involved precision missile systems or long-range drones. Ukraine has been developing and deploying sophisticated drone and missile technology over the past year, often capable of hitting high-altitude targets deep inside Russian-controlled territory. The use of such technology demonstrates a significant escalation in Ukraine's operational capabilities and strategic planning. Experts also point out that timing played a critical role. Striking during early hours reduced civilian casualties while maximizing the disruption to military logistics. The precision and scale of this attack indicate extensive reconnaissance, planning, and intelligence work, showcasing a new level of military competence from Ukraine. The Russian government responded with both damage control and political rhetoric. Emergency teams were deployed immediately to repair structural damage, and media outlets framed the strike as an isolated incident, rather than a significant setback. President Vladimir Putin, however, is reported to be personally monitoring the situation, reflecting the symbolic importance of the bridge. Russian officials emphasized that reconstruction efforts would be swift, and no disruption to the broader military supply line would be tolerated. Despite these reassurances, analysts warn that repeated attacks could erode Russia's operational capabilities in Crimea, especially if Ukraine continues targeting infrastructure like bridges, ports, and fuel depots. Eyewitnesses from nearby areas describe scenes of panic and chaos. Residents reported hearing a deafening blast, followed by a cloud of smoke rising over the bridge. Some captured videos on mobile devices showing flames and structural damage. Maritime operators noted disruptions in shipping lanes, while local authorities scrambled to ensure the safety of vehicles and workers on or near the bridge. Social media videos have gone viral, showing the scale of destruction and the rapid response efforts by Russian emergency services. These accounts highlight not just the strategic impact, but also the psychological effect on the local population. both in Russia and Crimea, underscoring the broader consequences of infrastructure-targeted strikes in modern warfare. The implications of this strike are far-reaching. For Ukraine, it's a major propaganda victory, demonstrating that Russian strongholds are not invulnerable. It also puts pressure on Moscow, both militarily and politically, as the bridge is essential for moving troops and supplies into Crimea. For Russia, repeated attacks on the bridge threaten to disrupt logistics, slow down troop movements, and challenge the narrative of invincibility. Rebuilding the bridge is costly, both in time and resources, and repeated strikes could weaken Russia's operational efficiency in the southern theater of conflict. Internationally, the strike has sparked debates about escalation. While Ukraine frames this as a legitimate military target, Russia could use such attacks to justify retaliatory measures. The risk of further escalation looms, but so does the potential for Ukraine to gain leverage by demonstrating capability and resolve. Military experts argue that infrastructure attacks like this are a classic example of asymmetric warfare. Instead of confronting Russia head-on in contested territories, Ukraine focuses on use strategic targets that maximize impact while minimizing risk to its forces. Some analysts compare this strike to historical examples, where bridges and supply lines were targeted to cripple enemy operations. The repeated success of these strikes shows Ukraine's increasing precision in modern warfare, combining intelligence, technology, and timing to create maximum disruption. Experts also note that Russia will likely increase security and defensive measures around key infrastructure, possibly deploying advanced air defenses or counter-drone systems. However, these measures could strain resources, making other areas more vulnerable. The international community has responded with a mix of concern and support. Western nations, including the US and EU countries, have largely expressed support for Ukraine's right to target military infrastructure, emphasizing the context of ongoing aggression. At the same time, some countries have urged caution to avoid further escalation. Analysts warn that attacks on major infrastructure could provoke a stronger Russian response, potentially widening the conflict. The strike also has implications for global markets, particularly shipping and energy routes in the Black Sea. Disruptions in Crimea could impact regional trade, oil shipments, and international logistics, drawing broader attention to the conflict beyond the immediate battlefield. While the strike was targeted at military logistics, civilian lives are inevitably affected. Road closures, maritime disruptions, and panic among local populations highlight the human cost of such operations. International humanitarian organizations have called for care to minimize civilian casualties, emphasizing the importance of precision and timing. Ukraine's focus on early hours and limited casualties seems to reflect a strategy designed to reduce civilian harm, though the psychological and social impact on local residents remains significant. In response to this strike, Russia is likely to take a multi-pronged approach. This may include increased military presence around critical infrastructure, deployment of advanced missile defense and surveillance systems to detect and neutralize incoming threats, rapid reconstruction efforts to repair damage and maintain operational continuity, and strategic retaliation in other areas, possibly targeting Ukrainian supply lines or infrastructure. These measures show that while the bridge strike is a major tactical victory for Ukraine, the conflict is far from over. The ongoing tug-of-war between infrastructure attacks and defensive strategies will define the next phase of the war. History teaches us that bridges and key supply routes have often been decisive in warfare. From World War II to modern conflicts, controlling or destroying infrastructure has shaped outcomes. Ukraine's latest strike fits this pattern, leveraging modern technology to target a symbolic and strategic asset. It also illustrates the changing nature of warfare, where precision strikes, drones, and intelligence can significantly impact larger conventional forces. For military strategists, this event will be studied for years as an example of how asymmetric tactics can challenge even the most powerful opponents. In conclusion, Ukraine's bold strike on the Crimea Bridge is more than just an explosion, it's a statement. It shows that strategic planning, technology, and timing can disrupt even well-defended targets. The full impact of this strike is still unfolding, but it underscores the intensity and complexity of the Russia-Ukraine conflict. We will continue to monitor updates and provide detailed analyses as more information emerges. One thing is clear, the conflict is far from predictable, and events like these could redefine the course of this war. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more in-depth updates on global events. Stay informed, stay vigilant, and we'll see you in the next video.